Warning! This podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As-Seen-on-TV podcast. This one's for Inhumans. Marvel's Inhumans. Episodes 1 and 2, Behold the Inhumans, and Those Who Would Destroy Us. I'm your host Mike, and joining me is Clio.
Hello.
Hello. So, we're just going to address this right away. Are you all aboard the hate train?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I have a ticket, but I have not boarded the train.
Okay.
Go.
I know what the problem is.
Do say.
Okay. The problem isn't bad writing, which I think everyone's gonna jump on say problem is bad writing. The problem is stiff writing. The writing's not bad. Like, character motivations, character development, it's all there. It's stiff. And even, like, the things, I did find them funny, where, like, Karnak's whole thing with the saying, oh, it wouldn't work out between us, baby, that whole thing was stiff, but still funny. Like, it came across, I think that's what it is, and I hope that it's just because it was the first one, and they had to get it out a month early, so that they could release it in IMAX.
Yes.
So maybe next episode is not going to be stiff.
Hopefully. And that's one thing I'm, pulling away and waiting for and seeing what happens. Because, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I didn't super love it either. But I guess, you know what, I can completely see your point. Stiff.
I kind of super love it.
Stiff writing. I love the casting. I love the characters.
Puppy!
I love, the topics they bring up. I love that you can actually relate to Maximus's point of view.
Yes.
And I like that a lot. So there's complexity there, but you know what? Yeah, okay, stiff writing. I got it. I like it.
Well, don't like it, but accept it.
So those
just what happened.
Yeah. Those who've been watching Marvel stuff on ABC, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're familiar with Inhumans by this point, because that's pretty much their way of having mutants in their universe. It's like...
Well, they can do thematically similar, same things with the Inhumans that they can with the mutants.
Exactly. And, I mean, hell, a couple of our main characters are Inhumans that we've been enjoying. But... these guys are,
completely different.
Yes, they are the Royal Family. And
they're Moonians.
They're Moonians, yes. They live in a city that's cloaked in a crater on the moon.
Yeah.
And, I mean, major difference we'll jump right into. Their Terrigenesis is way different.
Yeah,
than any of the other characters we've seen. All the other characters we've seen, Daisy, you name it, who've gone through Terrigenesis, they cocoon themselves in effectively stone and then break out of it. These guys, because they make a whole ceremony out of it, they put two people in a chamber, drop the crystals in, break, gas covers them, and then that's it. They walk out of the gas like nothing happened. One chick walks out with butterfly wings. Like, no cocoon, no mess, no pain, no screaming, no holy shit, I'm dying. Just, you go in, a cloud envelops you, you come out, I can fly.
Yeah.
And the other kid can have, visions of the future while seizing.
And, you know what? I'm really glad they did that, because that's a... I don't know if that's the same character in the comics that can see the future, but basically... an Inhuman in the comics sees a vision of the future and basically starts Civil War #2.
Oh.
And he feels like a very similar character. I don't know if it's the same person. I'd have to double check the name.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to go do that too. It's been forever since I read or anything about.
Yeah, I didn't have time to prep. Like, I don't have. I usually have like articles up. I didn't have
I
time.
know the main characters. I know their deal. That's it. Right now.
Yeah.
We have a question in chat. Actually, we have we have a statement and then a question. Good on ABC. This is from Alex. Good on ABC. Lockjaw CGI is pretty impressive. I agree.
All the CGI is pretty impressive.
They've definitely done a pretty good job with that. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. CGI is pretty impressive as it is, so it's no surprise there. And
This
question,
is a little better.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe especially for the opening, because that was meant to be an IMAX.
Yes.
That it's extra good.
maybe, and I hope that continues. And then we have a question from Dom. Were there any MCU tie-ins yet?
It's the first.
Just minor things that you would get if you were watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. up until the recent season. And by minor, I mean like, oh, you're one of those freaks. You're one of those Inhuman peoples. Like, you've been living on the moon. Hey, we've been living on the moon, and everybody knows about us. What the fuck? Not you per se, but that's really the only tie-in, really.
But I mean, it's the first episode. I didn't expect any.
It's setting the stage. It's setting up the plot, really.
Yeah.
That's it. And that plot, Maximus, brother of the king, Black Bolt, decides, I'm going to overthrow my brother and take control because our society is bullshit. Which, you kind of have to agree with them a little bit.
It is, for sure. But his solution is, let's go down to a planet and just, like, take it over. Like, A, do you expect to wage a war that could last for fucking ever? B, your society's not going to change just because you move. Like, an abusive household, moving, having a kid, changing your circumstances, the things around you is not going to change the fact that there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, like, basically you go through Terrigenesis. If you get some decent ability out of it, you're part of the upper caste. If you get shit on by the hand of fate, you're a part of the lower caste, and they throw you in a dank mine tunnel to mine for... What are they mining for on the moon?
Maybe they're just making room?
Like,
maybe they're literally just making more room.
Expanding the city?
Or maybe they are digging for something, but I just thought it was making more room.
I don't know. But the only reason Maximus is spared this fate, because they say he's effectively human. He has no powers that they speak of, nor do they reveal any powers that he's hiding.
And I mean, we already knew that this was a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because in S.H.I.E.L.D. we saw the senator and her brother, Nadir.
Yes.
And one was Inhuman and one was not.
Right.
So this happens in Bloodlines, but
now,
I guess it kind of is very rare on the moon because they're all purebred Inhumans since, like, the beginning.
And that's probably why they go through a much calmer Terrigenesis than the not pure
all that human DNA.
Right. Now, the other thing is, in the comics, Maximus is very much a powered individual. He has, he has mind powers. Like,
mind bullets.
Yeah, he can alter people's perceptions, he can control their minds, he can swap his consciousness with another body. But, like, the whole gist of it is, he's fucking nuts. He's absolutely insane, and his mental issues prevent him from using his full power. Is kind of the whole gist of that, I think. But he's also a super genius. He is.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty smart.
He is very, very intelligent.
He feels like Loki. Like, he's a little too close for my liking to Loki.
I did get that vibe. Brother of the king, in this case. The shit-on brother of the king, almost. Like, the only...
They're just... That one guy who you know that guy works in the mines, is like yelling at him, like demeaning him, and I'm like, my dude, the fuck are you?
Yeah, but you got to put it yourself in that guy's shoes. His life cannot get any worse. What can they do? Kill him?
Beg to differ.
Yeah. All right.
Your life can always get worse.
True, you're right. But I mean, in his mind, he's probably like, "What's the worst? What can they do? Kill me? Put me in prison? At least I won't have to dig, mine shafts anymore."
Yeah.
But
okay. Maximus says like the caste system is needed on the moon where they don't have any space. But it's like, is it needed? Do you need, like, can't everybody work? I don't understand why. And because it seemed like maybe it's because she is a princess, but what's her name? The sister of Crystal. Mm-hmm. Seemed like she was just sitting listening to tunes all day. Like, is that what the upper class does?
I don't know.
I mean, they don't have to be digging in the mines, but maybe they should be doing something.
At that point, like, you're in a limited space, limited resource society. It would make sense if everybody pitched in a little.
Yeah.
But I guess not. She just seems like the carefree teenager who's just chilling out, enjoying her days, not having to lift a finger, and she has a giant teleporting dog as a pet.
Yeah.
And Lockjaw seems to listen to her almost exclusively.
Yeah. Who's a good Lockjaw?
Who's a good Lockjaw?
He's so cute.
And, I mean, when Maximus does his little takeover, I was kind of annoyed and wanted to scream at her like, okay, they corner Karnak, who beats the crap out of a bunch of guards and then promptly dies. And I'm thinking, wow, that was a really quick way to kill off a main Inhuman character.
No,
and then it's like,
knew.
Yeah, and then he's watching the whole thing again like, oh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Instant replay. And I like how they do
Thanks for giving me a choice.
I like how they do his power, like, like the little holographic lines of sight and everything and all that. But
I don't know if you watched Alphas.
I did not.
It was like an X-Men-y type of show.
I know what Alphas was, I just never watched it.
I'm explaining to other people. And the kid who he could see all the like waves of like Wi-Fi and like calls, and he saw the internet basically. Mm-hmm. And just the way he manipulates it, Karnak doing his thing, makes me think of that. And I miss Alphas. It's a good show.
Yeah.
So.
And it's at that point, Karnak goes to find Crystal, make sure she's safe, and this happened, have Lockjaw take you to safety.
No,
and then she's
no,
take him to Gorgon on Earth. And he's just like, no, no! And he gets teleported to a mountain in Hawaii instead of the beach where Gorgon is. It's just stupid dog.
I guess he's not that precise because he went from the beach to the mountain to the other side of the mountain to the to the city on the other side of the mountain.
To a beach, a mountain, a crater in the mountain, like the volcano, and the middle of a busy intersection in Honolulu.
At least he got them all on the same island.
Yeah. There's the brownie points for Lockjaw. He got them all on the same island.
Good. Who's a good dog?
I mean, a lot of people seem to, with the exception of the cab driver who crashed, a lot of people seem to not flip out to the sight of a oddly dressed man and a giant bulldog. Like, when I say giant, I mean the size of a horse, just appearing in the middle of a busy intersection.
Well, I don't know. I've never been to Honolulu. I don't know what kind of a city it is.
Me neither.
But if I was driving in Manhattan and I had to swerve out of the way of a giant bulldog, I might look at it in my rearview mirror, but then I'd have to you have to move on.
I guess, okay.
Unless you're going to pull over and take pictures, you have to move on.
I guess.
Google it later. You got places to go.
I mean, let's see. How does this play out? Well, before Lockjaw saves Medusa, Maximus captures her and shaves all her hair off.
That was painful. Like, that was really hard to watch.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But also on the other side, usually when they do scenes like that, they start from the front.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, obviously this is a very expensive, very large wig.
Yes. They didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Still, it was just like, that's like her thing.
And now she's pretty
like cutting
much...
your arm off.
Yeah. For her, that's like cutting her third arm off.
off.
Because hair. Like,
'Cause it
prehensile
does
hair.
All the thing, yeah, it's just all the things her arms do.
Yep. That sucked. But, I mean, she winds up in the crater and winds up on a bus adventure.
Yeah, which, how did they not check tickets? How did nobody say, hey, she wasn't on the bus before? Kind of roll with it.
They're tourists on Hawaii. They're really chill.
Yeah.
It's like,
maybe.
This is a vacation, you know.
She steals that dude's knife. He doesn't even notice.
Yeah, she pickpockets his knife, has a whole conversation with her sister on the moon.
Yeah, the guy does, like, look side-eye, look at her like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Minding my own business, weirdly dressed, you know, chick, and... just,
yeah.
Yeah. None of my business, having a private conversation. Let's see, Karnak winds up in the middle of... basically on a mountaintop in the middle of the Hawaiian jungle, the woods, whatever. And...
he gets a concussion.
yes! Which, I'm guessing for him, that's his weakness. Concussions.
Yeah. Because he took himself right back to where he was, and I'm like, dude, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like my king.
I have to find my king. I've walked in a circle and I'm sleeping in the jungle, but I have to find my king.
Yeah, someone kind of needs to get to him soon.
Yes, before he...
Brain damage.
Brain damage.
Brain damage.
Yeah. Dane Bramage.
Damage.
And like Gorgon winds up hanging out with a bunch of surfer dudes on the
That
beach.
Was my favorite thing, because of course he wouldn't know how to swim. A, he lives on the moon. B, he has hooves.
Yeah.
They just and I was like, of course there's just a bunch of chill surfer dudes there to save him.
Exactly. Just a bunch of
And
chill
like,
dudes.
Their powwow was just so great.
It's like, bring the fight to you, bro. Like,
yeah.
Why are we gonna leave our beach? Like, you know. It's like,
those guys were awesome.
A bunch of superpowered people who live on the moon are going to teleport to this beach and try to kill me. Yeah, okay, fine, chill. But I forgot to mention something that happened way in the beginning. NASA's got a little moon rover they're driving around, and it suddenly starts bouncing off the outer walls of Adelan. Just like, the hell? Bounce. Bounce. Bounce.
They're not gonna know that's my hoof.
Yep.
That looks like a hoof.
Anyway.
That was great comedic timing. That was edited very well.
It was edited very well. And give me 1 second, please. 'Cause
whoa!
My lights are going crazy here.
Discotheque. I'll just keep talking. Yeah, I'll just keep talking. What were we talking about before the discotheque? I really like Adelan, how it's all like concrete and shit. It's like kind of the same color as the moon. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of like the X-Men.
I have no idea what was going on. I'm back.
Cool. I was just saying how I like how Adelan is all concrete and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of the rooms remind me of X-Men, like the I don't know, what's the Danger Room. I don't know why the like Black Bolt's chamber reminds me of the Danger Room.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
it
now
does remind
that
me of
was that did they build that specifically for him because he killed the king and queen
I believe they built that
and he
specifically
was too
for him.
dangerous?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I'm guessing he went through Terrigenesis, and the first word he said to his parents...
Killed them.
Vaporized them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a traumatic experience.
Very, very traumatic.
And he gets the, I mean, he doesn't use his voice. We gotta talk about Black Bolt and his adventures in Honolulu, because that was my favorite part of the episodes.
I love him. Like, he's already awesome.
He's a confused moon man. Not knowing their society, walking around, has no idea what's going on.
He's never needed money before. He just walks out with the suit. He's like, okay, bye.
Security tries to stop him. He just, like, breaks his hand. Like, how dare you touch the king?
Yeah, you don't touch the king. Like,
He completely confused. The cops are stopping him. It's like, looking at the handcuffs, like, oh, okay, this is how they work. Gonna handcuff this cop in the middle of the street with his own cuffs. Oh, there's more showing. I better move quicker. What the hell's going on here? And he beats the crap out of how many cops?
There's at least half a dozen cops.
And one of them tases him in the back, which apparently, Black Bolt's weakness is tasers.
Well, I mean, listen, anybody who gets tasered...
is going to make a sound. And in this case, he just...
All it was oof.
And just a little oof, and
just the
he
slightest
annihilates a cop car. Sends
Gone.
it flying a few hundred feet down the road. And, yeah... But, like, they book him. He's just sitting there completely silent, handcuffs around his back. It's like, if he was out of those handcuffs, things would not go well for him. It's like, oh, is that a challenge? Just, breaks out of them like, hi. And then
he's, like, motioning, like, I'm gonna go over there. You take my picture.
He's doing a couple, like, sign language-y things, and the one cop seems to have understood him.
Which, again, didn't do my research. Was that actually American Sign Language?
I don't know, because I don't know it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I would also find it weird that a guy who's lived on the moon his whole life would know American Sign Language.
Well, that's kind of my thought with them knowing
English.
And that they all speak it.
Yeah.
And that's what they speak.
Anyway.
Whatever. That's not that important. But, I was wondering if he's actually using sign language, actual sign language, because one thing I was a little disappointed about was that Medusa was his translator almost, so that especially we the audience knew what he was saying.
Right.
I would rather him speak in more descriptive sign language and then them give him subtitles, because then we could not hear him, but like in our minds hear him.
Yeah.
Speaking instead of hearing Medusa's voice for his words, which I think took a lot away from his character.
I guess, yeah. It would be nice to hear like an inner narration of him or something.
Like not even like hear his voice, but just see the words, like reading the words instead of hearing Medusa say his words.
Right. Well,
because then we're just hearing more of Medusa, and not like when we could be reading his words exactly.
Anywho,
sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Black Bolt winds up in jail. Yeah. Medusa winds up back at the bus place when Orin shows up to kill her. And, well, Orin winds up getting stabbed to death multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, to death, as we see in the end. That means nothing, because apparently her powers are, I can heal myself. Or she can't die.
Yeah. It seems like Wolverine powers.
Yeah. Which seems like something Medusa should have been aware of.
It probably put her into shock, and then she came out of it.
Yeah, she woke up, came out of it.
Which I don't think... She must have said his name, but the Inhuman who teleported her to the surf to Earth, he was really cool.
Well, his whole thing is, he has to split his body open, apparently, and it hurts.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you do anything to hurt me, my guards are going to make it uncomfortable for you. And
I
then
thought he was telling her it was gonna hurt her.
Uh-huh. No, it was, he's like, I don't want to, it hurts.
Yeah.
And then, the lower part of the wall, which is him, opens. His whole thing is, though, like, don't do anything to hurt me. And she winds up fused, it seems, with rock almost. She has to shoot her way out of a little low-lying wall.
Yeah. She seemed fine, though, like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like, they're all basically scattered on the island of Oahu, and Maximus is controlling Attilan.
Yeah, he did a really good job of, manipulating the people, because who knows how long he's been getting them on his side, saying the right thing, saying what they want to hear.
And a lot of the lower caste are living shit lives, so this guy comes with, the brother of the king comes with promises of improving your life. You're going to listen to the guy.
Yeah.
It's like, my brother, the king, is making your life shit. I'm going to fix that. But I'm going to be your king now.
And I mean, we didn't really see Black Bolt lead all that much. We saw him make, like, one decision.
Yeah.
So we don't really know how he is as a ruler.
We really don't. Very little. And I guess that's... I don't know. Again, the plot feels weird, and you're right. It's stiff writing.
And it's I don't know. I love it, though. It's clearly a character-driven piece.
Right. And as of right now, it's getting panned pretty badly. It's got a 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb, and that is the most kind rating I've seen. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't completely agree.
I'm hoping that it is exactly that. They had to rush it out a month early for an IMAX screen, and that it's only going to get better from here. And I can be hopeful. I mean, I've enjoyed S.H.I.E.L.D. all this time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. But again, casting choices spot on.
Yes, perfect.
I was a little afraid.
Because I love how freaking just a constant brood on Black Bolt's face, and it's amazing. Wait, because what do I know that actor from?
I don't know. Let me look. We all know where we know Maximus from. We know him from Game of Thrones.
Oh God, of course. And I'm like,
and I was worried.
He's not gonna be a total prat like fucking.
Like, I know the guy's name who plays.
Oh my God! Hell on Wheels. Okay.
Yeah, Hell on Wheels.
I just needed to see the name. Oh, he looks so different with short hair. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't recognize him from anything else but that.
He also looks a lot younger than he did in Hell on Wheels.
Yeah.
Or at least he had white hair in Hell on Wheels.
Anyway, no, Dom, I think it's only 8 episodes, and then it goes right into S.H.I.E.L.D. He was saying this is only 10. Now that he found it himself. But
I'm still in shock that's
now, yeah.
And
anyway, my whole thing. I guess the only thing I could really say about this at this point, it's not as bad as everybody's saying. It's not as bad as I feared it would be. But it's not going to be, like, winning any Emmys. It's not Show of the Year or any shit like that.
No. I mean, let's face it, most superhero shows aren't.
No, they're not. They have their niche fan base.
Yeah.
But, can only go up from here. Anyway,
That's not true, but I believe in the show.
I believe in the show. Anyway, next episode is called Divide and Conquer. And we actually get a decent synopsis, not in the style of S.H.I.E.L.D. After fleeing from their home...
You mean the team's not in danger?
Exactly. After fleeing their home, the Inhumans desperately search for each other in the wake of Maximus's coup. Now they must learn who they can trust on Earth. It's no...
Yeah.
Oh, no, the team is in danger. The team's lives will be changed forever. One team member is facing certain death. It's none of that shit.
That's my favorite. Their lives will be changed forever.
And it's not a Game of Thrones synopsis of, the North remembers.
Yeah, that was great.
That was it. That was that synopsis. Like, next week on Game of Thrones, the North remembers. That's it. Anyway, I got nothing else. If you do,
I like it.
I'm gonna give it more time.
I think it's awesome.
I'm leaning towards the like, especially now that I talked about it more.
Yeah.
But I am leaning towards the like category. I'm gonna give it its fair due.
Mm-hmm.
But on that, I would say that's our show. Clio, where do they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Cleomoto, looking at pictures of Anson Mount because I'm realizing why I don't recognize him. He beefed up as well.
Oh, yeah, he is pretty beefy.
Yeah, he wasn't that beefy in Hell on Wheels.
You can find me on Twitter not looking at pictures of this man at Thilidrin. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Thank you all for watching, and if you're joining us live, the finale of ASOTV Rewind for Once Upon a Time Season 2 is in 15 minutes. Thank you all for watching.
Bye.